Hi guys, let's switch it up today from this to this. We are making shoulder length jumbo twists. Very nice and easy as usual. Here is another way on how you can pack the style when you're done making it. So let's get into it. Welcome. If this is your first time on my channel, I want to appreciate you. Do not forget to subscribe and also interact with me. Tell me what you think of the style when we are done. I have another video up here on my channel on how to comb your 4C hair. These are the things that we'll be needing to make this particular hairstyle. As I was saying about combing your hair, I combed the hair behind the scenes, but I have another video on how to comb your hair, how to moisturize your 4C hair, and then comb it to avoid headaches. Okay, so now let's get into how to make the style proper. For some people, they like to start making the hair from the front. I cannot make my hair from the front. I always prefer to start from the back of my hair. So this is me portioning the hair. Now this is very important. If you have hair clips, you can use them, but I am using hairband and I intend to have the twists made in jumbo size. So I will just be very careful on how to, pat the hair. Now, if you pat your hair once and you're not comfortable with what you feel, I say feel because you cannot see the back of your neck, right? Good. So once you're not comfortable with the size that you feel, go in again and make another sweep using your cotton comb or whatever device it is that you use to pat your hair. Okay, and when you're done with that, now at this point, if you want, you can go in with a hair gel. But for this entire style, I tried as hard as possible to not use hair gel, hair wax, or anything. I just wanted it to be very natural. Okay, so once you're done with that, you can now pat it in smaller sections. Yeah, when you're patting in smaller sections, it's important to know how to separate the quantity at the back. So for instance, for the first line, I want to have 3. So when you're patting, please ensure that you pat all 3, then you can take one at a time. Now for this first hairstyle, this is me trying this particular method of plaiting. On the second strand, I did something entirely different. So stay with me, you'll get it. This is the conventional practice. This is a conventional style or method of attaching your extension to your hair. Most older folks, so people who make hair, people who used to make hair, in the olden days, I want to say, they would always use this style of attaching extensions to your hair. It could be of how you want to make twist or braids. All right, as I said, that's the first one. I use that method of attaching the extension straight up and just plaiting. But this second strand, I want to try the feed-in method rather. I want to try the feed-in method. So for this one, the method would resemble knotless braid. You know how you make knotless braid? You add as you go. Yes, that's what it looks like. And then you just keep adding. So the technique is to ensure that you have the entire quantity of extension you want to add to this particular hair down. Then you now separate it into smaller portions and then you add as you go. All right. Now, as I said earlier, you can use different techniques that you want, but this is the one that I am choosing to use. I think for the entire stretch of hair, this was the method I settled for. This is because I felt like it had a firmer grip. It had a firmer grip on the hair rather than what that first one looked like. And that first one also looked bulky, but this one is slimmer at the base, gives me a nicer finish, and I settled for it. Another time I might decide to return to that first one. Depends entirely on how I feel. None of them is bad. All right, it depends on you and your taste that time. So once you have a firm grip of the hair at the base, you can now pat it in 2. You can see it, right? Pat the 3 strands in 2 and then you begin to twist. The style I am making is twists. That's why I'm twisting. If I were making braids, I would have just continued with the braid. Maybe in my next video I'll be doing braids. I don't know yet. But whatever the case, that's why you need your post notification turned on so that you keep tabs on all of my posts. All right, I'm done with the second, and then the third. I'm going in now, and the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth, and here we are. So this is me giving you a closer view on how to do the twists. Okay, and another closer view on how to do the twist. As I mentioned earlier, I didn't go in with hair gel, hair wax, or anything. This is entirely me and my natural hair. So what the difference is that if you used gel or wax, the hair would likely be neater and it would actually last longer, right? But I didn't want that. I wanted it to just be natural. I just wanted my hair to breathe, because in the last couple of videos I've been using gel and wax too often, and I just wanted only shea butter to be on in my hair. All right, so that's the way to make it. Make your twists and you go. This is me just giving you different parts now. Now let's have a closer view as we come to the front of the style. This is just a few more strands. I think just 2 to go. So let's have a closer view on how to make it now, right? Make sure that it is smooth. I mean, that's the comb out, and then plait the base, have it gripped at the base. If you watch it very closely, all the explanations are right in there. Have it with a firmer grip, and then you can now begin to feed in your Brazilian wool. For this style, I use Brazilian wool. You can decide to use attachments. You can decide to use kinky, whatever you choose. For me, today, I'm using Brazilian wool. And then begin to feed in, as I said. And as you feed in, you continue to plait. And when you are sure that it has a good grip at the base, you part it into 2, these 3 strands now. Make sure that they go into 2, and then you begin to twist. Just watch very closely what I am doing. All the explanations are right in there. So there are still 3 strands, and right now I'm going to make them into 2. There you have it. And now it is 2. And then I twist. Now, it's not just about twisting. As you twist the strands on each other, you also twist the singles that you have in your hand. So you twist and then lock, twist and 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 lock. And that's how you go. I hope that's clear enough. As I like to tell in all of my videos, it's not magic. The more you practice, the better you become at it. So get started already. All right, don't just watch the video and hope that you can do it. I promise you, once you get started, you would get familiar with it. So that was me just checking the length. I'm done with the length, and so I'll just tie the tip right now so that it doesn't just spiral and loosen up, okay? Because it's twists. Twists can lose at any time because the grip is not usually as tight as your regular braids. All right, so that's me done with that. So let's go over this one just one last time, and then you see how the entire hair is done. I hope you still remember the drill. When you have a firm grip at the base, you begin to fill in, and not just feed in one large extension. Ensure that you go in little by little, and the higher you go, the more you begin to add. All right, so the first strand should be smaller than the second. Then the second should also be smaller than the third. The third should be bigger than the second, and the second should be bigger than the first. That's clear enough, right? Yeah, I'm sure it is. Okay, so now that I have that gripped up and I am going in about it, I will just ensure that I do not lose grip of it, because if you do lose grip, you may as well just have to loosen the entire hair and start again. Okay, so this may just be my last feed in, and then I separate it into 2, right? See, separate it into 2, and then I begin to twist, and that's as easy as it gets. As I mentioned earlier, the more you practice, the more familiar you get with the process. It gets easier by the day, believe you me. And here is another very important point. As you walk, please remember to check for the length. You don't want one longer than the other and another longer than the other and yet another longer than the other. And there we're done. So this is me just trying to, style it. Yeah, we're done. And then I wanted the base to be as natural as possible, so I used my brush to just give that natural 4 hair or 4C kinky vibe. So that's about it. That's a side view. That's what it looks like. This is one style of how to pack the hair. The good thing about these braids is that it's entirely up to you how you want to pack it. Entirely up to you. You can even let it fly. This is another style on how to pack it. You could pack everything. Now I allowed some to fall on my face just to frame my face, but you can decide to, have everything up in a bun. That's entirely up to you. So I love it, and that's me dashing you a smile saying, hey, don't you just like it? I love it. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me today. Soon, yeah, that's me giving you a closer look. That's what it looks like close up. Thank you very much. If you've watched up to this level and you have not subscribed, please do and leave me a comment. Do you like it? Is it something that you can rock? It's always fun. See you again in my next video. Hasta la vista. Bye-bye.